Hello, so we are back with the series of CAT 25 algebra. So basically what we are going to do in today's session, so in quadratic we have already covered two classes, and in the third class we are going to cover few questions that are anyhow related to quadratic equation with modulus, as well as some questions that are in the format of theory. So generally we have seen the equations, the quadratic equations that are direct equations, and our job is to solve those equations, right? But instead of solving, if whatever question is given in the format of theory, there is a word problem for quadratic equation. So what would you do? So basically we are going to discuss those kind of questions as we are going to do little bit about algebra, modulus in algebra. So basically first of all we are going to understand about what is mod, and as well as how to make a perfect square, right? So basically what happens, we have already seen making a perfect square before, but today we are going to do it again. We are going to understand a little bit about it. So let's see. So let's say, for example, if I'm talking about x minus a whole square, so what does it mean? So it is equal to x square minus 2ax plus a square, right? So basically what is the coefficient of x? That is 2a. What is minus 2a? What is half of minus 2a? That is a, and this value is the square of it. So for example, if I am saying that x square minus 4x plus 7, so how we are going to make it a perfect square? So first of all we are going to see the coefficient of x. What is the coefficient of x over here? That is minus 4. What is half of minus 4? That is going to be minus 2. What is the square of minus 2? That is going to be 4. So I am going to write it as x square minus 4x plus 4 plus 3. So this value can be said as x minus 2 whole square plus 3. So that's how we can make a perfect square in any quadratic equation. So whenever we talk about a maxima or minima of a quadratic equation, so we can figure out, we can make the maximum value or minimum value of quadratic equation by making it a perfect square. That is one of the ways to solve it. So we already know that x square is always going to be positive. Perfect square can never be negative, right? So if perfect square can never be negative, it means this value can never be negative. So it is always going to be either 0 or it is going to be positive, right? So if it is 0, the value of the function becomes 3. That is going to be minimum value. If it is positive, if it is 1, then the value of function will be 4. So minimum value of this function is going to be 3. So that's how we are going to calculate minimum value of this function. Now let's understand a little bit about modulus. So what is modulus? So modulus is the two parallel lines. So what is the modulus of 2? Modulus doesn't change the value. What does it do is it changes the sign. It always make any number positive. So if I'm talking about mod of 2, that is 2. If I'm saying mod of minus 2, that is also going to be 2, right? So we are going to have a separate class on modulus, but here to use it in the questions, we let us understand the basic things in mod. If I say that mod of a equal to 3, so how I'm going to calculate? So basically a can take a value of 3 or minus 3, because mod of 3 is 3, mod of minus 3 will also be 3, right? So from here we can conclude that value of a is going to be either 3 or it is going to be minus 3. If I say that mod of a plus 3 is equal to, let's say, 5, so it means this value is going to be either 5 or it is going to be minus 5. So I can say that a plus 3 is equal to 5, and that gives us a is equal to 2, or it can be a plus 3 is equal to minus 5, and that gives us a is equal to minus 8. So that's how we calculate the value in modulus. Now, one important thing, that if I talk about square root of x square, what is the value of square root of x square? It, the general perception about this, that this value is equal to x. No, that's not true, because perfect square of any number can never be negative, so it is equal to mod of x. And we can also say that x square is also equal to mod of x whole square. So these are the important points that you need to remember for the exam. Modulus thing, I have gave you a brief idea so that you can understand how we are going to use mod in today's class. And this is mod, and this is somehow very important to get the understanding of modulus and squares. And this is also one thing, that is x square will always be greater equal than 0. It is also said that mod of x is also greater equal than 0, because mod is defined in such a way that mod can never be negative. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to proceed to the questions and see how we are going to solve them. Okay, so this question says that the number of integers that satisfy the equation this. So we have already solved this kind of question before in the previous class. Now this is a question of the format of a power b equal to 1. How many inferences I got? We got 3 inferences. The first inference is base is equal to 1. That it means a equal to 1. Then power can be anything. The second inference is, if power is 0, then base cannot be equal to 1. Sorry, if power is 0, then base cannot be equal to 0, because 0 power 0 is not defined. Now, the third inference we are talking about, if base is equal to -1, then power has to be even. So these are the 3 inferences we have discussed in the previous class. Now we are going to use it to solve this question. Okay, so what is a? That is x square minus 5x plus 7. Okay, so x square minus 5x plus 7, and that is equal to 1. I'm going for the first inference. So it is going to be x square minus 5x plus 6, and that's equal to 0. Now we can solve it, x minus 2 into x minus 3, and that's equal to 0. So x is going to be either 2 or 3. Okay, so this is what we are getting. So two values of x I am getting. Okay, now second inference is power is 0. So power is 0 means if I am going to put x plus 1 equal to 0, so x will be equal to -1. Okay, now I need to put this -1 in the equation and see whether it becomes 0. So x square is 1, minus 5x is going to be plus 5, and it is going to be plus 7. Is it being 0? No. So that's why this value is acceptable, because if b is 0, then a is not 0. Okay, now let me go with the third inference. So we got 3 solutions so far, so A cannot be the answer. Now, the third one is x square minus 5x plus 7, and that's equal to -1. So I am going to get x square minus 5x plus 8, and that's equal to 0. So can I factorize it? Can I factorize it into 3 and 2? That is going to be 6. 4 and 1, not possible. Any other way can we factorize it? No. So basically, if you want some confirmation in this kind of question, so what you can do, for the rational roots we have already discussed, for the rational roots, d should be perfect square, right? So d should be a perfect square. And what is d? D is B square minus 4AC. So let us check for it. So that is going to be B square means 25 minus 4, A is 1, C is 8. Now this value itself is negative. It means this equation does not have real roots. It means this will not stand corrected. So I am going to get my solution from the first two statements only. So my answer of this question is going to be option B. That is, there are only three possible solutions. One is -1, second is 2, third one is 3. So that's how we are going to approach this question. Okay, so second one is talking about B is 0, then A is not 0. So B means power is 0. So x plus 1 is 0. That it means x is equal to -1. So if B is 0, it means x is equal to -1. In that case, the base should not be equal to 0. So I am just plugging x equal to -1 over here and checking whether it becomes 0 or not. So -1 square is 1, minus of 5 into -1 is going to be 5 plus 7. So it doesn't become 0. It means this is correct, and we are going to get one solutions from it. Understood, Om? Now let's move on to the next question. What does it says? It says that if R is a constant such that this has exactly three distinct roots, what is the value of R? Now this is going to be a little tricky question. Now how we are going to approach it? Okay, so it is mod, right? So basically x square minus 4x minus 13 plus R equal to sorry, that is equal to R. That is my first solution. Then I am opening it with negative x square minus 4x minus 13 is equal to minus R. Because when we open mod, we take one value positive, we take one value negative. Okay. Now it is saying that it must have three distinct roots. Now it is a quadratic equation. So quadratic equation means it must give me two roots. This is a quadratic equation. It must give me two roots. So total number of roots should be 4. But the question is talking about it has three roots only. Then how we can do it? So it means this is one equation, right? So either of the equation should give me two roots. Second equation should give me one root. And how we are going to talk, how we are going to get one root? It means both roots are same. That's how. So basically in one case both roots are distinct, in the second case both roots are same, right? So basically I am writing first equation, that is x square minus 4x minus 13 minus r, and that's equal to 0. My second equation is x square minus 4x minus 13 plus r, and that's equal to 0. In this case, I am talking about I need two roots or one root. So b square, that is 16, minus 4, a is 1, and c is how much? C is going to be 13 minus r. And it should be greater or equal than 0. So if it is equal to 0, it means it is going to give me one root. If it is greater than 0, it is going to give me two roots. Okay, similarly here, it is going to be 16 minus 4 into 1 into, it is not 13 minus r, it is minus 13 minus r, and it is going to be minus 13 plus r. Again, it should be greater or equal than 0. So one of the value should be greater than 0, second value should be equal to 0. Okay, so basically it is saying that R is a constant. So R is a constant, right? It has three roots. So basically when I'm going to open the mod, I am going to get two different quadratic equations, right? One equation will be positive of R, second equation is going to be negative of R. So when the two equations are going to give me four roots, but instead of four we are going to get only three roots. So three roots means there are going to be two distinct roots from one equation, and one root from the second equation. Did you get my point, Om? So the three roots means two quadratic equations are going to give you four roots, but instead of four, if you want three roots, it means two roots from one equation, one root from another equation, because quadratic equation can never give you more than two roots, right? So I am opening this with one positive, one negative, right? So I am taking this to this side, so this has become this equation, this has become this equation. Now d should be greater or equal than 0. So basically if it is equal to 0, it means it gives me one root. If it is greater than 0, it gives me two roots. If it is greater than 0, if it is greater than 0 in both cases, then it means both equations are going to have two roots. Total number of roots are going to be 4. If in one case it is greater than 0, second case it is equal to 0, then it means from one equation I am going to get two roots, from second equation I am going to get one root. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put 15 over here. So basically I'm going to take minus common, so it is going to be 16 plus 4 into 13 plus r, and I'm going to see whether it is greater than 0 or equal to 0. And here I'm going to say this plus 4 times 13 minus r, and it is greater or equal to 0. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to plug in 15 over here. So I'm going to get 16 plus 4 into 28. This is positive. So two roots. 16 plus 4 into 13 minus 15 is minus 2. This is minus 8. So again 16 minus 8 is 8. So again two roots. It means total number of roots are going to be 4. So 15 cannot be the value. Now let's put 21. So it is going to be 16 plus 4 into 13 plus 21 is going to be 34. It's positive. 16 plus 4 into minus 8. 13 minus 21 is minus 8. This value has become negative. So so basically this is less than 0. So it means I'm going to get two roots from here, 0 roots from here. So total number of roots are going to be 2. So not possible. Okay, in the next case I'm going to take 18. So 16 plus 4 into 18 plus 13 is 31. Anyhow, in the first case I'm going to get two roots only, because it is always going to be positive. It is going to be 16 plus 4 into minus 5. So it is going to be minus 20. Again it is going to be negative, so I am going to get two roots only. So it means my answer of this question is going to be 17. How? 4 into 30, that's greater than 0. So two roots, 16 plus 4 into minus 4, and that's equal to 0. So I'm going to get one root from here, two roots from here. So total number of roots we are talk about 3, and that satisfies all the conditions. So answer of this question is going to be option D. Now that is one way of solving the question. Now what is the second way of solving this question? What we can do, right? So I know that I am going to get two quadratic equations. Let me erase it at first. So I am going to get two quadratic equations. One is going to be x square minus 4x minus 13, that is equal to plus r. Second is going to be minus r, right? So I can say that x square minus 4x, and that is equal to 13 plus minus r. Okay, so I am making it a perfect square. So x square minus 4x, the coefficient of x is minus 4, half of minus 4 is minus 2, and square of 2 is minus 2 is 4. So I am going to add 4 to both sides. So it is going to be 17 13 plus 4 is 17 plus r. It is going to be x minus 2 whole square, and that is equal to 17 plus minus r. So if this equation becomes equal to 0, that is going to give me one root. If this value becomes positive, then it is going to give me two roots, right? So it means it should be 0. If if I put r equal to 17, so I can have 17 plus 17, that is 1, and 17 minus 17, that is 2. So basically from here I'm going to get two solutions. X minus 2 whole square is equal to 34. So x minus 2 whole square is equal to 34. So x minus 2 comes out to be plus minus root 34. So from here I am going to get two solutions. Now if this becomes 0, it means x minus 2 whole square equal to 0. So x will be equal to 2, and I'm going to get one solution from here, and I'm going to get two solutions from here. So total number of solutions I'm looking for are 3, and that's what question is talking about. So this question can be solved in this way as well, by making it a perfect square. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. What does it say? Suppose hospital A admitted 21 less COVID infected patient than hospital B. Okay, but all eventually recovered. Fair enough. The sum of recovery days for patient in hospital A and hospital B are 150, 200 and 152. So basically we are talking about two hospitals. So hospital A has recovery days. Sum of recovery days for all the patients is 200 in hospital A, and B it is 152. Okay, and hospital A admitted 21 less COVID infected patients than hospital B. So if hospital A is having X people admitted, then hospital B is adding X plus 21. Okay, so that's what question says. And the average recovery days for the patients admitted in hospital A was 3 more than the average of this, than the number of admitted in this. Okay. Total days are 200 for X people. Total days are 152 for X plus 1, X plus 21 people. Right. So basically, what is the average in average recovery in hospital A? So total days are 200, number of people are X. So average recovery days are going to be 200 upon X. In hospital B, the number of patients are 152. Average recovery days are X plus 21. So basically, what is the average number of days of recovery? That is going to be 150 upon X plus 21. Now this average is equal to 3 more than this average. That's what this statement is saying. The average recovery days for patients admitted in hospital A was 3 more than average in hospital B, the number of patients admitted in hospital A. That's what question is talking about. Okay, so what we can do, I am going to say that it is 200 upon X, that is equal to 150, 2 plus 3x plus 63 upon x plus 21. Right, now I'm simply going to cross multiply. So what I'm going to get, I'm going to get 2x, sorry, 200x plus 4200. Now it is going to be a lengthy equation. That is equal to 152x. 152 plus 63 is going to be 215 x plus 3x square. So what is the equation I'm going to get? That is equal to 3x square minus 15x plus plus 15x minus 4200, and that's equal to 0. Divide everything by 3. So my actual equation becomes x square plus 5x minus 1400. Ooh. So basically, product of two numbers should be 1400 and their difference should be 5. So I can say that is x square plus 40x minus 35x minus 1400, and that's equal to 0. So from here I can say that it is going to be x plus 40 into x minus 35, and that's equal to 0. So x comes out to be either 35 or minus 40, and number of patients cannot be negative, so it will be rejected, and answer of this question comes out to be 35. So that's how we are going to approach these questions. Every time people think that the question of quadratic equation will always be a direct equation type of question, not necessary. A lot of times they give the quadratic questions in the format of word problem. For example, you can see this question. This question is written in 4 lines. There are no equations. It looks like a question of an average, but it is not a question of average. It is a question of quadratic equation. Now, let's move on to this question. So basically, in how many ways can a pair of integers x comma a be chosen such that x square minus 2 mod x uh, plus a minus 2, and that's equal to 0? Okay. So I already know that x square can also be written as mod x whole square, right? So I'm going to write it as mod x whole square minus 2 mod x plus mod of a minus 2, and that's equal to 0. Okay, so basically this equation is in the format of mod x. Okay, so let's say this is a quadratic equation. So what are the roots of this equation? So let's say the roots are alpha comma beta, right? And these are not the roots of x, these are the roots of mod x. Okay, so what is the sum of roots? That is going to be 2. Okay, what is the product of roots? That is alpha into beta, and that's going to be mod of a minus 2. Okay, so alpha and beta, if sum of the roots is 2, then alpha plus beta, it can be, I'm writing over here, so if that is equal to 2, so it can be 2 plus 0. That is one possibility. Second possibility can be 1 comma 1. There is going to be no third possibility. So if so basically, if one root is 2, second root is 0, it means product of root should be 0. If product of roots is 0, then a minus 2 mod of a minus 2 should be equal to 0. It means value of a comes out to be 2. So it means x can be 2, x can be 0, and it is not x, it is mod x, so x can also be minus 2. And in all three cases, what is the value of a? We are going to get 0. So I am going to get 3 pairs. One pair is going to be 2 comma 0. Second pair is going to be minus 2 comma 0. Third pair is going to be 0 comma 0. So I already got 3 pairs of the equation. Okay. So now can we, so, oh, sorry, it's going to be 2. Sorry. So it is going to be 2 comma 2, minus 2 comma 2, and it is going to be 0 comma 2. So basically I am going to get 3 possible values of this a is equal to 2. Now the second scenario is mod x is equal to 1. It means x can be 1, x can be minus 1 as well. And here product of roots is going to be 1 into 1, that is going to be 1. So mod of a minus 2 is equal to 1. It means, so basically if both roots are 1, alpha and beta are 1 and 1, product of roots is going to be 1. So a minus 2 is going to be 1. So a can be either 1 or it can be 3. So if x is equal to 1 or minus 1, a is equal to either 1 or 3. So my roots, my pairs are going to be 1 comma 1, minus 1 comma 1, uh, 1 comma 3 and minus 1 comma 3. So how many total pairs we are going to get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So answer of this question is going to be option A. We are going to get a total of 7 distinct pairs. Okay, now let's move on to the next one. Okay, a tea shop offers teas in cups of three different sizes. Okay, the product of the prices has three different sizes equal to, okay, so I am talking about size A, small, medium and large. Three sizes are there, right? And let's say the price is A, B and C, and product of ABC is 800. That's what given to us. The prices of smallest size and medium size are in the ratio of 2 to 5. Okay, so it is going to be 2x, it is going to be 5x. And if the shop owner decides to increase the price of smallest and the medium ones by 6 rupees, so it is going to make it as 2x plus 6 and 5x plus 6, while keeping the price of the largest one unchanged. Okay, so let's take it y, let's take it y. So here the product becomes 800 and here the product becomes 3200. Sum of the original prices of three different sizes. So question is talking about what is the value of 2x plus 5x plus y. Now it is a tricky scenario. Now why it is tricky scenario? Because I got two variables, x and y. So what I'm going to do, both times y is in the product. So I am going to do this, let's call it equation 1, let's call it equation 2. So I am going to do equation 2 divided by equation 1. It means I am going to do 3200, that is equal to 2x plus 6 into 5x plus 6 into y upon 800, 2x into 5x into y. So from here y cancels out. This is 4 and this is 1. So this is what we are getting. Okay, so what we can do, how we can solve this question. So instead of just making it a quadratic equation and solving, uh, we can directly make a quadratic equation. So basically it is going to be 10x into 4, so 40x square is equal to 2x into 5x is 10x square plus 12x plus 30, so it is going to be 42x plus uh, that is going to be 36. So from here I am going to get 30x square plus minus 42x minus 36. So divide the whole equation by 2. So I am going to get 15x square minus 21x minus 18, and that's equal to 0. So it is going to look a little trickier. So what I can do, I can just go by hit and trial. So if I'm going to put x equal to 1, right? So if x equal to 1, this equation becomes something, I don't know what it is. It is negative, it is not equal to 0. If I put x equal to 2, so this is 15 into 4. So 15 into 4 is 60, right? Then 21 into 2 is 42 and this is 18. So basically 60 minus 60 is going to be 0. So from here we can figure out that value of x is 2. So once we got the value of x, then I think question is more or less over. So 2x is going to be how much? 4. 5x is going to be 10 and y is going to be y, and that is going to be 800. So this is 40, so y comes out to be 20. Now question was talking about 2x plus 5x plus y. So 7x plus y. So 7x comes out to be 14 because x is 2 and y is 20. So overall value becomes 34. So answer of this question is going to be 34. So that's how we are going to approach this question. Hello, Abhishek. How are you? Doing great? So, with this, we are done with quadratic equation. Now, what we are going to do in the next session, we are going to do logs. We are going to start log from the next class onwards. If anyone has any doubt, you can ask me the doubt. Um, on I'll wind up the session. Thank you.